as you take another look at it. Watch how Tanner comes right behind the wedge and then just loses the ball. George Streeter on the recovery from the end zone. The pop by Streeter. And the ball is free. Troy Wilson falls on it. So Streeter made the hit. Wilson with the recovery. There's an injured USC
there is
player.
a USC player down on the field. What a way to start the football game, Jeff.
Special teams, very, very important. We talked about the kicking game right off the bat. And, boy, when you receive the football and it ends up your opponent's got it on the 2-yard line.
And that is Tanner. He was the man who tried to return the kickoff. I thought for a second that he might down it there in the end zone. But he brought it out.
He knew where he was in the end zone. He knew he had some room to run, and the wedge formed pretty well, but Streeter just busted through the freshman out of Chicago, Julian High School, and made the hit. And Tanner, who is a starting wide receiver, he's going to leave on a stretcher here.
Well, you hate to see that.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a clean hit, and you talk about the intensity in this ball game, the way these two teams feel about each other, and Streeter certainly had his intensity meter cranked to the highest levels.
5 seconds have elapsed in this game. Already a monumental play breaks for the Irish.
This is a very big football game for both teams, of course. Jeff, Notre Dame is fighting for respectability. I think Ted Toller has it at USC after the fine year last year in the Rose Bowl victory, but one of the things he hasn't done yet is beat Notre Dame. And I think if you looked at the priorities at USC, one's to get to the Rose Bowl, but the other ones are to beat Notre Dame and to beat UCLA.
He has done neither.
So
that's a good point.
As a matter of fact, USC hasn't beaten UCLA in 3 seasons now. And of course, Notre Dame takes a 2-game winning streak into today's game. They have not beaten USC 3 consecutive times since 1959. Again, they're working on Randy Tanner. We're going to take another look at it. Watch this hit.
Yeah, watch and see where Streeter hits him with the helmet here. See if he gets the leg. No, I think his cleats caught, Jack. I think the cleats just went in, and there was no room to move. There you see Wilson and Ballage fall on the football. So George Streeter, the freshman, with the hit. Here you take a look at George. He is going to be an outstanding player at Notre Dame. Outstanding defensive back prospect as you take a look at Randy Tanner leaving the field. 1 play for the afternoon, and that's it. That is tough to take.
He's a good one. Their second leading receiver, 12 catches so far, and he'll be missed by USC. First and goal from the 2 for Notre Dame. Pinkett. He's going to get outside. Touchdown!
The all-time leading scorer in Notre Dame history. The pitch sweep to the left side. You'll see USC run it. Monahan with a pretty good block. Allen reads it well into the end zone. 1 offensive play run today, Jack, and Notre Dame has a 7-0 lead, and they had to kick off.
It's a long drive, Jeff. 10 seconds. 6 points. Carney on to attempt the extra point. He got it. There's a timeout on the field with the score. Notre Dame 7, USC nothing. We'll be back. It's a good kick. I think White made the right choice. There's no way you're going to return that one. So USC is going to start 1st and 10 from their own 20 after the kick down to the end zone, their first possession. Unless you count the 4 seconds they had the football. There's a look at the offense. Salisbury, he's a good one. The receivers, Norman's the big star there.
Of course, Tanner will be replaced.
They're going to throw on first down, and it is complete. But only for a gain of about 2. Wilson on the tackle. They're going to mark his forward progress out to the 25.
As we mentioned at the start of the broadcast, Jack, Notre Dame has 2 down linemen in the game right now. Eric Dorsey, and Jeff Coons. Everybody else is in an up position.
Crutcher. And Crutcher picked up most of the yardage on his own that time, Jeff.
You heard the hit applied as the pitch sweep went to the short side of the field. That is the side of the field with the least amount of room until you hit the boundary. But USC does run that play successfully to the short side. Larkin comes out, extra defensive back in for Notre Dame.
3rd and 2 from the 28. Crutcher picks up the first down. Steve Lawrence on the stop that time. Crutcher, 5'10", 195-pound senior tailback from Pasadena, California, number 49. Right there on your screen. Came into the game averaging 4.5 yards a carry, and he scored 5 touchdowns so far this season. Crutcher again. Not a lot of running room. He falls forward to the 34-yard line.
Excellent play by Eric Dorsey. He came straight upfield, fought off both the pulling guard and a man assigned to block him. That disrupted the play and only allowed a gain of 1.
Second and 9 from the 34 as you look at Ted Toller, USC's head coach, looking for his first victory over Notre Dame as a head coach. And Salisbury doesn't like something about the play. He's called a timeout. And he's going to go over and chat with his head coach. So there is a timeout on the field with the score. Notre Dame 7, USC nothing. We'll be right back.
Mike Kiernan wouldn't play that much. He is in the game now. Notre Dame is really changing up their defensive front now in the game. Kiernan, Coons, and Dorsey. When Larkin went out, they moved to a 3 down lineman position on the short yardage situation where USC recorded their first down.
Class of 1973 is holding a post-game reception right after the game in Monaco Grade A of the ACC.
So if you just joined us, you've already missed watching Notre Dame get on the board very quickly, just 10 seconds into the first quarter, and they lead it 7-0. We now have 12 minutes, 43 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. USC with the football on their own 34-yard line, 2nd down and 9.
Might mention the officials for this game. There you take a look at Jim Garvey. He is the referee. It is a split crew between the collegiate, independent.
And they also throw to him quite frequently. We're ready to get back underway here at Notre Dame Stadium. Little draw to Crutcher. Good pursuit by Notre Dame. Jeff Coons, the first man to get to Crutcher, and he drives him to the ground.
Jeff Coons had a great game last week against Army. He turned the game around from a defensive standpoint. Then when they started concentrating on Coons, Dorsey went to work. Watch number 40, Pat Ballage, run right through there. Larkin gets a shot. Now watch Ballage. There's where the play is made because Ballage forced Crutcher to stop, and then Coons made the hit.
3rd and 7
3rd
now.
and 7.
Salisbury going to run out of the pocket, and he's going to be brought down. And once again, Mr. Coons was the first man to get to him, and he's having another great game early.
Jeff Coons has very quick feet. He is not the biggest, not one of the stronger Notre Dame defensive linemen, but he's strong enough, and he has very quick feet. And he is ferocious, and you have to have that to be a good defensive football player or any kind of football player for that matter.
Troy Richardson on the punt for the Trojans, and Troy Wilson, there you see him on your screen, back deep to take this punt. The Irish came and almost got it. Wilson will call for the fair catch at the 29-yard line. So Notre Dame will start their second possession of the game with pretty good field position at the 29-yard line.
Mike Haywood came about 1.5 yards short of getting that block. So good defensive series by Notre Dame. They give up 1 first down and then put it in gear. 7-0 Irish as you take a look at the man going for the triple against the Trojans, Steve Beuerlein.
Play action. Steve's got some time. The screen is set up to Stams. And Stams picks his way across the 40 out to the 44-yard line. That is the best piece of running that we have seen out of Frank Stams.
Stams did something very interesting that time. He saw that he was one-on-one with a USC defender, and instead of knocking him over, just sidestepped him. That's smart running. Big gain. Beuerlein sets this up very well. He waits, fakes people off by looking the other way, then got some steam on the pass. Now watch Stams here when he just sidesteps the tackler there.
Back to live action, draw to Pinkett. He only gets a yard that time.
Tim McDonald, the man who was faked out on the run by Stams. Keith Davis made the stop there, one of the top linebackers in the country a couple of years ago. Highly recruited. He's a sophomore out of L.A.
If you had to use one adjective about this USC defense, it would be fast. They are very fast.
They lost a couple of great players when Jack Del Rio and Dwayne Pinkett graduated, but they've got more experience now on the perimeter, the outside people.
2nd and 9 for Notre Dame. Beuerlein wants to throw again. Dumps it out. It's complete to Reggie Ward. He's got the first down, and he steps out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
California connection burns USC there. Steve Beuerlein to Reggie Ward, and the Long Beach Poly graduate takes it into USC territory. This is a square out pattern. Steve rolls to the side. He will throw. Good block by Pinkett there. The ball is right on the money. And then watch Reggie turn it upfield here. It's what you like to see in a wide receiver. You don't have to go out of bounds. Lewis Brock on the tackle. We'll talk about Mr. Brock at a future point in this game. He's got an interesting story.
Good athletic family.
Pretty decent.
Pinkett trying to get outside, finds a hole. But the hole was closed very quickly and nicely by Mr. Brock.
He is the son of Hall of Fame baseball player Lou Brock. Allen may have made one too many fakes there. He still picked up 3, maybe 4 yards.
Well, it looked like he had a hole, but he tried to outrun Mr. Brock, and speed runs in that man's family, and Lewis displayed it on that play. 2nd and 7 for the Irish. Ball on the Trojan 38. Pinkett drops the football, but he fell on it.
That play was jinxed from the start. The handoff was not that clean, and Allen was spun around in the hole, and the ball bounced right back up to him.
Tony Colorito was in for one play. He's playing on a sprained ankle, and he just limped back off the field. He's probably their best defensive player.
Watch the handoff here. See, it was a bit shaky. Allen's got it, and then it pops right back up to him.
You can also see in your picture number 92, that was Colorito. He didn't get hit. He just tried to put pressure on the ankle, and it can't stand up. So he's back on the sidelines for USC. 3rd and 4 from the 35. Stams. He's got the first down, the 20. He pulls his way across the 15 down to the 12-yard line where Tim McDonald took the brunt of Mr. Frank Stams.
Frank took a hard shot right there, but he also gave a hard shot. Watch Scannell, number 54. See him wait, and then with the trap block along with Hepburn, they just waited till USC showed that they were going to come on the rush and gave it to Stams. That's a good tackle there and a good hit.
Jeff, Frank Stams has taken a lot of criticism this year. We have been critical of him, but he's playing a fine game so far today. 1st and 10 for the Irish. The ball is on the 12 of USC. The give is to Tom Monahan. And he drives right into the middle of the USC line where Gary Willison and Marcus Cotton bring him down. Gain of 2 on the play. 2nd and 8. Ted Toler's got to be a little bit concerned.
Extra tight end coming in for Notre Dame, Andy Heck, the freshman, and Tim Brown is also in. Mark Green was in for a play, and now Monahan leaves, so Notre Dame will go with 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Pinkett is the only running back.
Alvin Miller wide to the right, Brown wide to the left. It's Pinkett, and he gets down to the 6.
I think that formation may have given USC a bit of trouble there. They closed well and stopped Pinkett, but they had not seen that offensive formation. Sam Ano made the tackle. He's a good one, number 56, inside linebacker.
Ano came into the game leading USC in tackles. Beuerlein will keep the football. He will run it. Touchdown!
Steve Beuerlein was hit right on the top of the helmet, and he is in a sitting position, but I will guarantee you he is groggy. It's an option to run or pass, and you love to see this in a quarterback. Now, he had a man open downfield, in fact, a couple of people. But once he sees daylight, see him turn it up, he'll lower his head, pop right there. Now, the ball pops free, but it doesn't matter. He's already over. Sam Ano hit him. We'll get a good tight shot here of Steve. It's good execution. He got crunched pretty well. He is up.
Other than a bowl game, this game probably means more to Steve Beuerlein than any other. And he showed us some speed he has not displayed so far this year on that play. Carney's on to attempt the extra point. It's good again. There's a timeout on the field with the score. Notre Dame 14, USC nothing. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Hard run by Steve Beuerlein, and Notre Dame leads the Trojans of USC 14-0.
Be interesting to watch now, Jack. Notre Dame got a 14-point lead on Army last week, and it started to nap a bit. So we will see whether or not the intensity will remain. 6:58 left in the first quarter. Irish 14, Trojans nothing.
I would be surprised if there is a letdown.
I would be too. USC really is in shock right now. There is no question about it. They need blankets and liquid right now, because after the fumbled kickoff and the quick score, and then their defense has moved right down the field by the Irish offense, they need a jolt.
6 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. Carney's kick is another good one. Lonnie White will take it deep in the end zone. He will down it there. And USC will start again, 1st and 10 from its own 20. USC's strong point so far this year has been its defense. The offense has been good, but has had a tendency to turn the football over, and that is what has gotten USC into some trouble this year.
There's Ted Tollner. Bring you up to date on Steve Beuerlein. He is on the sidelines throwing the football under the watchful eye of quarterback coach Ron Hudson.
Crutcher found some daylight that time and picked up 7. Eric Dorsey brought him down. Again, Jeff, we talked about it earlier, but at least at the start of this game, Notre Dame had abandoned the nose tackle concept of defense and had gone with a couple of tackles and a couple of outside linebackers on the line.
Yeah, they're still in that situation, only 2 down linemen.
Salisbury wants to throw. He's got a man open, and Norman catches the football and spins and is finally forced out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Marv Spence, the man who led the charge to force Hank out of bounds. Mr. Norman has just tied Lynn Swan on the all-time reception list at USC.
Salisbury had time. Nice toss. A lot of cushion by Spence there on Norman. Larkin and Lawrence over to help with the tackle.
95th career catch for Hank Norman. Salisbury wants to throw again. A quick pass over the middle, and it is complete to Martin Chesley. Mike Kovalevsky brings him down, but another big gain, Jeff.
Salisbury, the all-time leader now in completions for USC. Tight end, right in the seam between Kovalevsky and Furjanic.
With the history of this series, you certainly didn't expect either team to fold. Kennedy Pola, the fullback, on the run that time, and he gets down to the 35-yard line where Furjanic and Dorsey tie him up.
That is a keep the defense honest play.
Second down and 7 for USC. Salisbury wants to throw again. He dumps it out, and it is in and out of the hands of Joe Cormier.
Certainly a ball that should have been caught. Troy Wilson had pretty good coverage on Cormier. He wasn't going to turn it upfield for much yardage, but now USC faces 3rd and 8 with 5:21 left in the first quarter, and Notre Dame has a 14-point lead.
Salisbury so far 3 of 4 in the passing department for 39 yards. A big down in the football game here early. Salisbury has time. The pass is over the middle and complete to Norman. First down, USC. Marv Spence on the coverage for Notre Dame.
With the speed of the wide receivers of USC, they will run the crossing pattern to death, and they do it so well because when they reach the point where they catch the ball, they're at full speed. Salisbury's got plenty of time today, and that does not bode well for Notre Dame. There you see the ball right where it should be, low and away from the defender, and USC is trying to get back in this one.
Crutcher down to the 15. Gain of 3. Jeff Coons on the stop for Notre Dame. 4 minutes, 49 seconds remaining. First quarter of play. I'm Jack Nolan along with Jeff Jeffers, bringing you WNDU's delayed telecast of the Notre Dame USC game. And it's been a good one so far. 2nd and 7 for USC. Crutcher. He's got some blockers, but he also gets stacked up nicely by the Irish defense. Robert Banks and Tony Furjanic in on that stop.
If you're going to stop the pitch sweep, you have to get penetration into the offensive backfield, and that's just what Mike Kovalevsky, number 49, did. He came flying from his linebacker position, forced Crutcher to adjust his run, and then Furjanic and Banks finished him off.
Crutcher so far 7 carries, 25 yards. 3rd and 4 from the 13. Crutcher, misdirection, nowhere. Outstanding defense that time. Cedric Figueroa saw that play coming and stayed with it.
Hope we get another look at this. This is really fine defense because the man in motion went toward the Notre Dame side of the field, and they ran back to the other side, and Cedric Figueroa stayed at home. So it will be a field goal attempt.
Don Shafer on to attempt the field goal. It will be a 34-yard attempt. He's 5 of 9 on the year in field goals with a long of 47. The kick is up, and it is no good. Wide to the left. So the goose egg remains on the USC side of the scoreboard. 3 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and the Irish lead it 14-0 on a beautiful day for football at Notre Dame.
You talk about one play changing the entire complexion of a drive. That was just what Cedric Figueroa's tackle did on Crutcher. USC was driving, they were executing well, they were running well. Salisbury was hot via the aerial game. Figaro comes up with the play that loses 4 for USC. Shafer misses a field goal. Now Notre Dame's got the ball back.
Beuerlein, as you can see, right back in the lineup. It is going to take a lot to get Mr. Beuerlein out of this football game. 1st and 10 for the Irish. They start from their own 20. Pinkett trying to get outside. Gets out to the 30, dips the shoulder, and gets knocked out of bounds at the 31. A first down for Notre Dame. 4th first down of the ball game for the Irish.
Nice block by the fullback, Frank Stams, as he got a man on the inside and sealed him from Allen. Here's a shot from the south end zone. They just hand it to Allen. Efren got a nice block. There you see number 30, Frank Stams. Got just enough of a guy on the inside, allowed Allen to turn upfield. Garrett Breland, an outside linebacker, came over.
1st and 10 for Notre Dame from the 31. Alan Pinkett again. Good defense that time by USC. Sam Anno was the man who brought him down, but most of the USC defensive line got penetration that time.
Interesting aspect on that play, Jack. Tim Brown adjusted his position on the field at wide receiver just before the snap, and in doing so, drew single coverage to the near side. Maybe Notre Dame will go back to Brown if they see that single coverage situation again.
Tom Monahan replaces Frank Stams in the Irish lineup. 2nd and 8. Pinkett. A fair gain on the play as he gets the football out to the 38-yard line where Sam Anno brings him down. The leading rusher in Notre Dame history, and that says a lot. Today, 8 rushes, 30 yards for Alan Pinkett, and a touchdown.
2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. This is an interesting situation for Notre Dame. 3rd and 4. Ward and Brown, the wide receivers.
Beuerlein being chased out of the pocket. He dumps it off, and it is complete to Tom Reeder, and Reeder has a lot of running room, and he gets down. He jumps out of bounds at the 35-yard line, and there is a flag on the play, and I bet it's a face mask.
It may be a face mask, and I think Beuerlein may have gotten away with throwing the ball past the line of scrimmage. He was very close, but you're right, Jack, it's going to go against USC. If he was not over that, yep, face mask. Everything is breaking for the Irish.
Reeder, 6 foot 7 inches tall, 243 pounds, a junior. Another California connection from Santa Maria, California. And a nice piece of running that time. 28-yard gain on the play.
Yes, definite face mask.
Lewis Brock. So another big play for the Fighting Irish, and a timeout called by Notre Dame.
Beuerlein did a very good job when he moved up in the pocket before he hit Reeder. It's a situation that quarterbacks really don't like to do, but they have to. You have to step up in the pocket because the blocking will fan the defenders to the outside, and it gives you a little room. And he saw his tight end Reeder and just flipped in the ball, and then Tom did the rest. Let's all be there Sunday on WNDU TV. At 7, it's a special 1-hour Punky Brewster. At 8, Amazing Stories. At 8:30, Alfred Hitchcock presents. And at 9 p.m., Crime of Innocence, starring the legendary Andy Griffith here on WNDU TV.
Beuerlein is having a pretty fair afternoon for himself so far. He has rushed for a touchdown. He has completed all 3 of his passes for 57 yards.
Here's Jerry Faust. His record, as you saw, 2-2 against the Trojans.
A minute and 43 seconds remain here in the first quarter. The Irish leading 14-0, and right now appearing to be driving for another score. Stams. There was not a hole there, and he did his best to pick up maybe a yard and a half. Brent Moore on the stop for USC.
Keith Davis. We have not called his name that much today. He and Ano make the majority of the tackles for USC.
2nd and 9 from the USC 29. Pinkett turning on the Jets. Gets to the 23. Matt Johnson on the stop.
Tackle made by Tyler and Johnson. Gain of 6.
Less than a minute remaining in the first quarter. 14-0 Irish over Trojans, and it's 3rd and 3 as Mark Green, the talented freshman wide receiver, comes in and Tim Brown leaves.
Ward and Green split wide to the left. Beuerlein rolls out the pass, complete to Green, and he holds on for the first down. Tim McDonald on the stop. He hit Green as soon as Green touched the football, and Mark did a good job of holding on.
Excellent concentration by Mark Green. Fake to the fullback, and then Beuerlein rolls, sees Green, telegraphed it a bit, but it didn't matter because Mark really helps out here as he latches onto it and hangs on. McDonald popped him pretty good.
So another first down for Notre Dame. 1st and 10 from the 15 of USC.
Quite a first quarter for the Irish.
And that is the end of the first quarter. Listen to the crowd. The Irish are leading 14-0. I think it's going well. It's mentioned this week that Steve is capable of the big play, and one of the things this team had been lacking was big plays from their quarterback. Well, they've gotten them so far today. Beuerlein to Alan Pinkett. Pinkett trying to get outside and break a tackle, and he can't quite do it. He gets down to the 13-yard line. Garrett Breland on the stop. Allen picked up a couple. That'll make it 2nd and 8. The ball is on the USC 12. Jack Nolan along with Jeff Jeffers bringing you all the action on a beautiful sunny day at Notre Dame Stadium. Pinkett has now carried the ball 9 times for 30 yards.
That will increase. Don't worry about that.
Play action. Another nice catch by Rader.
And a flag is thrown after the completion. We may get roughing the passer. It was thrown right around Beuerlein. Nope. USC is pointing back the other way. It was thrown right as you take a look at Beuerlein. Let's see. It may have been a hold as the ball was thrown. We couldn't see there. That's a great catch by Rader because Tom really held onto the ball well.
A personal foul, Jeff, against Notre Dame.
Well, just as Beuerlein threw it, the flag was thrown right at Steve's feet, and he did get some pressure there.
And now they have marked the ball down at the 4, so apparently the personal foul occurred after Rader made the catch.
Yeah,
they have indicated first down.
It's a dead ball foul. It occurred after the first down had been made and Rader was down, so Notre Dame, in effect, is going to have a lot of territory here. They're going to have to score a touchdown because by the catch of Rader, he makes it a first and goal situation. Now you put the ball back on the 18-yard line, so they've got 18 yards, and all they could get is a 6 or a 3.
So first and goal for Notre Dame from the 18. So the Irish have 4 shots at it. Beuerlein was pressured, trying to dump it off to Pinkett.
USC is double covering the outside receivers for Notre Dame. That leaves the tight end with a chance to get wide open, and also your running backs. Take a look at it again. One more time, Steve Beuerlein steps up well in the pocket. Garrett Breland comes from the outside. Steve steps up. That's not a bad idea. He held on the ball a little too long. Allen, if he got the ball out there, could have run for a little bit.
Marcus Cotton and Garrett Breland, the outside linebackers for USC, are very, very fast, and they will rush the passer often. Pinkett trying to get outside. He gets inside the 10, lowers the shoulder, and gets down to the 7. Tim McDonald and Lewis Brock on the stop.
The sweep with lead blocking by Frank Stams. There you see Breland knocked out of the play well by Heck, I believe. And you know when Sam Ano has to trail the play, it has worked very well.
Third and goal from the 7. Brown wide to the right, Ward wide to the left. Stams and Pinkett on the backs. Draw to Pinkett. Didn't work.
Worked only for one reason, Jack. He got the ball in front of the goalpost. Matt Court, who's been around USC, playing a lot of football for the last couple of years, made the stop, so John Carney gets the call. The sprint draw, there you see Court, that's a good job of fighting off the blocker there. He made a nice tackle.
Didn't get the yardage, but did get the position.
I mentioned Hal Von Weil as the holder. Started last week. He did a good job on the second extra point, bringing the ball down.
26-yard attempt. It is up. It is good, and once again, a nice job that time by Carney. He had to delay for just a second as Von Weil brought down the snap. There's time on the field with the score Notre Dame 17, USC nothing. We'll be right back.
A little longer than normally when they would have classes in session. So far, they have been very well prepared.
Albert Watts and Lonnie White, once again, the deep men for USC. You just saw them. Carney ready to kick it off, placing the ball on the tee at the 40. Of course, a capacity crowd here at Notre Dame Stadium, and they are just eating up both the action on the field and the beautiful, bright sunshine. You could not ask for a better day. 5 minutes and 52 seconds eaten up on that last drive by the Irish. Carney kicks it off. A line drive this time that sails out of the end zone. USC will again not get the chance to return the kickoff.
Carney kicking against the wind. He did a very smart thing. He made it a line drive. He didn't get it up where the wind could hold it. And USC has to start at its own 20.
"12 minutes, 19 seconds remaining, second quarter of play. And the Trojans would like to get something started here. And for the first time in this ball game, Aaron Emanuel, freshman tailback, is in the lineup for USC. Play action. The pass over the middle complete to Norman. First down for USC at the 40. Marv Spence and Steve Lawrence on the coverage for Notre Dame.
Norman comes down. He's covered by Marv Spence. You'll take a look at Salisbury here. Again, the crossing pattern. He comes down, then makes a right angle cut to the middle of the field. Salisbury with the time, puts it on a string. There he is.
Emanuel with the football, slips and falls after a gain of 2.
I think they're going to say his knee touched down just a yard gain, Jack. Ron Reisenhofer was right there to make sure he didn't go any farther.
So that makes it 2nd and 9. Salisbury 5 of 6 for 76 yards in the ball game.
Mike Kiernan in the game now. Notre Dame going with 3 down linemen.
Emanuel slips again. He's having some trouble keeping his footing on the Notre Dame Stadium turf. Lawrence there in the coverage.
Aaron Emanuel, who may be the next great tailback for USC, has some room to run, but as he makes his cut, he just loses his footing. He did kick up a little grass there.
3rd and 6. Over the middle, it is complete to Gene Arrington at the 50. Marv Spence on the coverage. They will spot the football at about the 48 of Notre Dame, and that's a first down. Arrington, also a freshman. As always, USC has some talented young players in their lineup. Emmanuel, maybe a couple. Janik took his feet out from underneath him. As the season has gone on, Emmanuel has gotten more and more playing time. He came into this game with 276 rushing yards, but an average of 5.4 yards per carry, and that's pretty good.
Notre Dame's put an extra linebacker, or they're replacing a linebacker with another linebacker. Cedric Figueroa comes out. Rick DiBernardo comes in.
Kennedy Pola carried the football, but flags are all over the field.
Wide receiver to this near side was in motion. That's Norman. Notre Dame really changed up there on USC. When they brought DiBernardo in, they put him right on Norman's nose to maybe take away that crossing pattern, and Norman tried to get the quick start up the field and was called for motion. So a mistake hurts the Trojans. Puts the ball back on the USC side of the 50.
So that'll make it 2nd and 13 for USC. Last week, Emmanuel rushed for 122 yards against Stanford, and Crutcher picked up 105. Salisbury wants to throw. Heavy rush. Dorsey doesn't get him. Salisbury runs now and steps out of bounds at the Notre Dame 45. Banks chased him out of bounds.
Kiernan and Dorsey both had shots at Salisbury. He's a good athlete. He's had some knee trouble in the past, but no ill effects here. He gets past Kiernan and also Dorsey.
Third and 8. Emmanuel falls forward to the 42.
A decision time for the Trojans. It is 4th and 4. And I would imagine down 17-0, they may take a chance right here.
That is what they're doing. 8 minutes, 49 seconds remaining in the second quarter. 4th and 4. Kennedy Pola does not get it. Steve Lawrence, the big kid, along with Troy Wilson.
An excellent defensive play by Eric Dorsey, who busted through his blocker, disrupted the play, and Notre Dame gets the ball back. Watch number 71 as he fights through just right there. He caused Pola to just slow up for a second, and then the linebackers in the secondary converge.
So the Irish get the football back. 1st and 10 from their 40. And there's a timeout on the field with the score. Notre Dame 17, USC nothing. Back at at Notre Dame Stadium, 1st and 10 for the Irish. Pinkett, off right tackle, gain 3. Jeff, I'm trying to think of things Notre Dame has done wrong so far, and other than the personal foul down to the goal line, I can't think of anything.
They didn't warm up real crisp, Jack.
This man is a hard man to please.
Well, if you have to go back that far, I mean, I'm saying that in jest because Notre Dame has just clicked on everything they've done today.
Still a lot of football left to be played here, but it's been all Notre Dame so far. 8 minutes remaining second quarter, 17-0 Notre Dame. Pinkett again. This time he slips. And a flag, and they may have just got Matt Johnson for a personal foul. Now, after Pinkett hit the deck, Johnson hit him on the head with his hand. Now, I'm not sure, but that's the only thing I can think of on the play.
I'm not sure either. We'll have to wait and see. Illegal crackback.
Okay.
Illegal foul against Notre Dame.
Well, this is the time of the game, Jack, when you're up 17 points. Start throwing the ball. I mean, put them under if you can. You've got good field position. Notre Dame, I think, is trying to set something up, but now they'll have to maybe readjust because of the big penalty here.
The Irish lose 15 yards. You look at Ted Tollner.
Yeah, blocking below the waist. You can hear Jim Garvey make the announcement. 7:51 left in the first half. 17 zip Irish. I'll repeat for those of disbelief. 17-0 Irish.
Notre Dame in a little bit of a hole here. 2nd and 20. Alvin Miller will stay on his feet, and he got the rest of that yardage on his own. He gets across the 40 out to the 43-yard line. It looked like he was going to be forced out of bounds back about the 36. Some tricky footwork, and Sam Ano couldn't knock him out of bounds till he got across the 40.
Beuerlein had two options. He could go to the tight end across or Alvin Miller. He chooses Miller. And Alvin, very strong and fast, goes right past Jerome Tyler. Ano has to come over and make the stop.
So they got 13 back. It's 3rd and 7. Beuerlein, the pass is intercepted. It is indeed intercepted. Matt Johnson, I waited there to see if they were going to rule that he had possession. I thought he did, and that's the way they ruled it. Reggie Ward, the intended receiver.
Similar play to the completion to Miller. Steve, though, telegraphs this play. See, he's looking at his receiver the whole time. He's got good steam on the ball, but it is up a little bit. And there is the interception. Just a wrestling match. A good hit there for Rader. He pops him. That's been the highlight for USC, the interception. So Johnson, the cornerback, makes the big play, the pick.
USC will begin the possession at their own 46. Kennedy Polo will throw the football. He's going deep, and it is incomplete. Gene Arrington, the intended receiver. Good coverage by Troy Wilson.
And Steve Lawrence hustled over there to help out. Wilson did something that it's hard to sometimes teach defensive backs. You look upfield. You don't look at the man you're covering. You ought to know where he is by bodily contact or a sense of it. And Wilson did just that. He saw that ball coming, timed it, the incompletion.
2nd and 10 for USC. This is Emmanuel. He almost slipped again, but this time he stays on his feet and falls across the 45. A long yard short of the first down.
The give to the tailback with a fullback leading through. He had a pretty nice hole there. Aaron Emmanuel, the freshman.
Emanuel gets it again. Very close to the first down. Notre Dame with some good defense, but Emanuel kept his feet well and fought his way up the field. Depends on where they mark the football.
Good pursuit here by Notre Dame. They know Emanuel's going to carry it, and Haywood gets up. But watch Aaron just keep the feet moving. That's key for a running back. When you feel the contact of the defensive player, just keep those feet churning.
So they're bringing the chains across the field. USC very short of the first down, just about an inch or two.
Well, 4th and inches, of course they're going to go for it. Probably even if they were not down 17-0. 6:36 remain in the first half.
Pose a reckless play to you. Would you possibly play action and throw here?
Oh, I'm always inclined to throw on 4th and less than a yard because the defense is playing so tight. But I don't know if I would 17 points down. Yeah, 17 points down, you might as well just get the first down. You've got to get something on the board before the end of the first half, and you should do it here. But to say if it's a 7-7 ball game and the ball is in this position on the field and it's 4th and inches, let it fly.
Also, the way Notre Dame's been moving the football without the interception, they really haven't made a major mistake. You don't want to give the ball back to them. Emanuel. He got stacked up, Jeff. I don't think he got it.
He did not. He lost a yard. They're marking the ball at the 45, and Notre Dame, they have got their jaws clenched. I don't know why they didn't try Salisbury. He's almost 6'5". He could have fallen forward for the inches, but there you see the penetration. Cedric Figaro with a big play. And Dorsey right there, too.
You talk to people on both sides of the ball before this game. They said it was going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight, and that's what it's been. There's been a timeout on the field with the score Notre Dame 17, USC nothing. We'll be right back.
Terry Andrysiak, quarterback for Notre Dame.
Andrysiak in the lineup now. His pass is complete to Heck. And Heck gets across the 35 down to the 33-yard line. Jerome Tyler on the stop. But the second offensive unit is in there for Notre Dame, and they start very quickly.
They just shocked USC right there. Because Notre Dame, if you'll recall, the last series ran the ball. Now the second unit comes in, and they drop it on USC.
Hiawatha Francisco with a big hole. Brock and Tyler on the stop, but not before Francisco churns up some yardage.
I think Hiawatha was a bit surprised he was so much in the clear. Monahan is his fullback, and there's a good cutoff block. Francisco dips it to the outside. He's got to learn to shift that ball over. He hangs on, though.
Monahan, straight dive. Matt Court on the stop.
It's a nice play to run. It gives your tailback a chance to catch his breath. Court saw it coming, made the stop, but full speed ahead Irish right now, Jack.
Second and a short 8. Francisco this time is stacked up shortly after he got the football.
Had Pernell Taylor in there at fullback, and I wonder if Pernell Taylor ever thought he'd get in a game against USC after that very, very severe knee injury that he had to rehabilitate, and got a touchdown last week. Number 46.
3rd and 6. The Irish 4 of 6 on third down conversions so far in the ball game. Andrysiak. It is complete to Francisco. I think he got the first down, Jeff.
It's going to be real close. Now, I think they said he stepped out before he got. It is going to be close. I'm not sure. It just depends on where they said his foot hit the boundary. Well, they're not even going to measure. It's going to be 1st and goal. Let's see here.
They're not going to go for a field goal. They're going for the first down.
Oh, definitely. You have to. After you've driven the ball so well.
Monahan, he got the first down.
Fullback dive. Notre Dame's offensive line knocks down the Trojans, and Monahan just tucks his chin down onto his chest and dives for what he can get.
Notre Dame in the first half has rushed the ball 21 times for 105 yards. USC has rushed it 19 times for just 52 yards. Stams still on his feet. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Play we have not seen, Jack. They went with the full house backfield, the power set, and gave it to the fullback on a diagonal cut. And there you see Stams, who once he gets to full speed is hard to bring down. Touchdown Irish.
Doesn't take any kind of football expert to tell you that Frank Stams is playing the best game of his Notre Dame career here today. Carney on to attempt the extra point. It is good. Notre Dame leads 24-0, and we still have 3 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the first half of play. As a slight.
Not really, because Notre Dame's done it before. USC's seen films of the second unit coming in. Notre Dame has not used it recently, but not really. Not really.
A lot of questions surrounding USC as they came into this football game. They outscored their previous two opponents 93-6, but let's be honest, Oregon State and Stanford were the previous two teams that USC played, and there are certainly questions about the caliber of those two programs right now. I guess all we can say at this point is, to this point today, Notre Dame is by far the better football team.
Then you go back and you look at the first game USC played this year was against Illinois and Champaign-Urbana, and they just took the Illini apart. Now, since then, Illinois has been very inconsistent, so the argument can still rage.
Brisk wind blowing here, Notre Dame Stadium, and John Carney will be kicking into the teeth of that wind.
Low trajectory, that's the key on this kickoff. Keep the ball low.
And he does. And the kick again will not be returned as White downs it in the back of the end zone. Lonnie White wants to return a kick so bad, and Carney will not give him the opportunity. 3 minutes, 27 seconds remaining, second quarter of play. If you just tuned us in, sorry about that, guy. You've missed some very good Notre Dame football. The Irish leading 24-0. Sean Salisbury's going to have to put the ball in the air and often. The pitch to Emmanuel. And he gets it out close to the 30-yard line.
He is a quality back, Jack. Even he's just a freshman, so his experience will only make him a better back. Larkin fought off the block well on the perimeter that time, and Emmanuel just cut it right back to the inside. Salisbury checked off on that play, too. Once again, DiBernardo was lined up face-to-face with the wide receiver to the far side of the formation, taking away that slant pattern from that side.
2nd and a short yard. Play action. Salisbury's got a lot of time, but nobody open, and he finally dumps it off to Hank Norman. Norman gets the first down as he came back to help Salisbury out.
Salisbury with plenty of time to gun, and he certainly does that. Norman back for it. All you need is 1 foot, and he was inbounds. That's a legal catch.
So the Trojans with a first down at their own 36-yard line. The football sailed a little bit. I'm not sure if it was over Norman's head or short of the other receiver. I think it was over Norman's head.
Yeah, I think you're right, because they had both wide receivers to the right side of the formation. Brought them across. Mike Kiernan was just about ready to get in on Salisbury, who is right now 9 out of 10, 91 yards.
That pass is complete. No, it's incomplete. He did not hold on to the football.
Yeah, he short hopped it.
He paid for it too, Jim.
Yeah, he did. He got popped pretty well. So you keep USC in 3rd and 10, and you're going to have a real good chance of beating this football team, especially when you got 24 points on the board. But 3rd and 10, it forces USC out of its tailback offense. Then they really have to put it up.
A flag in the backfield as Cormier catches the pass at the 41, well short of the first down.
Certainly would appear to be a holding infraction of some sort. And Notre Dame has a decision here. Do you take the penalty, give USC another play, or decline? And Jerry Faust wants him to take the penalty. Puts USC farther into a hole. And this is going to be interesting too, Jack, because if Notre Dame can stop USC from getting a first down on this 3rd and about 20, then they'll come with a punt block. So we've got a couple of different things going on here as you take a look at a very beleaguered Ted Tollner. 3rd and 20.
Gene Arrington split wide to the right for USC. Hank Norman wide to the left. The pass is intercepted by Pat Ballage. And Ballage brings it down to the 15-yard line.
For a man who has had to put up with a lot of adverse publicity in his career, Pat Ballage has had a great season this year. Here you take a look at the coverage. See all those blue jerseys converge, tipped by Lawrence. Ballage with the interception, and it's off to the races.
Jeff, that's the tip drill. He knew how many USC players are there, i.e. he knew there was no other USC player behind him, so he tipped it up in the air. Ballage brought that football back 35 yards.
Now, Lawrence is trying to latch onto it, but you're right. He made sure the ball was up in the air where a man behind him could latch onto it.
First team offense back in the lineup for Notre Dame. This is Alan Pinkett. Pinkett couldn't find a hole and slipped a bit as he tried to make a cut. Samano on the tackle there for USC. Pinkett lost a yard. He's 2nd and 11 from the 16. One minute and 35 seconds remaining in the first half. The Irish with one timeout remaining. Pinkett, sweep. USC strung it out very well. Tim McDonald brought him down.
Allen didn't know whether to go inside or hope the blockers would kick it on out to the outside.
Clock continues to roll. 3rd and 11 now.
His quarterback's dream right here on 3rd and 11 as you take a look at Allen on the replay. See, he just wasn't sure, and then Tim McDonald came through to spill him. Quarterback's dream here. You got 3rd and 11, a 24-point lead, and the ball is at the 15-yard line. You can do a lot of things here.
Brown wide to the right, Ward wide to the left. The pass is overthrown, intended for Alan Pinkett. It goes out of bounds, so that will stop the clock. Garrett Breland out there on the coverage. 40 seconds remaining now in the first half, and Carney will come on to add to the Irish lead.
Beuerlein tried to find his back. I think Pinkett may have stopped his pattern a little too soon there. And he was also shielded by the defender, so he wasn't really sure what Steve had in mind. 40 seconds remain in the first half.
Carney will attempt a 33-yard field goal. Snap a little high, it's down, the kick is up, and it is good. And the Irish lead increases to 27-0.
The snaps have been consistently high, but Hal Von Weil's done a good job of bringing them down.
I thought it was going to be a good game. And if you're a Notre Dame supporter, which we assume many of you are, it has been a good game, but there is no way I expected Notre Dame to blow USC out of this stadium. Now, not to say the game is over. Stranger things have happened in this series. But if USC is not out of the game, they're as close to being out of the game as you can be.
Well, you can tell just looking at their sideline. They are just stunned, and, well, they should be. Because Notre Dame has really done everything they wanted to do. The very popular series MASH moves to 7 Monday night on WNDU TV. Don't miss those wild and crazy pranksters, Hawkeye, Radar, Hot Lips, Frank, and Klinger as the Burrow 7-7 tries to stay sane in Korea. Get your daily dose of laughs from MASH, weeknights at 7 here on Channel 16.
.35 seconds remaining. Second quarter of play, and Jeff, I know a lot of people stayed up maybe a little later than they normally would tonight to watch the replay of this game. I think it was sleep well lost. Carney's kick. Mr. White's going to have to stay there again. You're looking at the most frustrated person in Notre Dame Stadium right now. Every muscle in his body wants to run that football back against the Fighting Irish. And John Carney, regardless of the fact it's into the wind, is doing a great job with the kickoffs today.
Sure is.
That's our situation. We still have a full half of football to go. USC is going to air out all the stops here. They got to try to get something on the board. Emmanuel, he gets up to the 25. Dorsey on the stop.
Best half of football Notre Dame has played in a long, long time.
Comparable to the first half last season against Penn State here at Notre Dame Stadium. SC has called a timeout. They have one remaining. Emmanuel, 9 rushes, 32 yards so far in this ball game, and we can already see that he is going to be a good one.
Oh yeah, you can tell it. He, as soon as he learns how to read his blockers properly, right now he's just running on instinct a little more than exactly what is proper to be done when you're behind a convoy of blockers. But his natural talent is certainly evident even as a freshman.
A freshman from Palmdale, California, 6'2.5", 215 pounds, and in an interview I had a chance to see yesterday, he's already unabashedly talking about the Heisman Trophy.
Oh, he should. He should. He was the top probably running back recruit, certainly in California, Quartz Hill High School. A lot of people wanted him.
Little screen, not very well executed. Manuel could not hold on to the football.
Matt Dingens, Eric Dorsey, right in on Salisbury.
Third and 5 now for USC. 19 seconds remaining. I get the sense that USC is trying to get something on the board, but they don't want to turn the ball over and make a mistake to give Notre Dame more points.
I think that's one reason they took that timeout a few moments ago. So Notre Dame wouldn't have 2 if they had to get the ball back.
And another pretty kick. Washington calls for the fair catch and takes it at his 15. So when we come back, USC will have the football 1st and 10 from its own 15-yard line. Quick out to Crutcher, and he gets across the 20 out to the 24-yard line. Spence and Janik on the tackle that time for Notre Dame.
Once again, the screen just slips it out to Crutcher. There you see the blockers get out in front of him. A slip screen. Fred, make sure he has that football. Picked up 9 yards.
2nd and 1. Play action. Dumps it off to Kennedy Pola, and Pola dips the head and busts his way across the 25 out to the 27-yard line. Little extracurricular activity.
Well, Pola was still up. That's the thing. He got hit, and the whistle had not blown. Janik made the hit, but Pola was still on his feet, and the Notre Dame defenders just came in to make sure. We'll get a good look at it here. Salisbury's going to have a great day for stats. Just flips it out to his fullback, and Kennedy heads upfield. Now, as you see here, he's still up. He's still up, so he's fair game. 1st down.
Ball is on the USC 27. Crutcher. Fumble football, and it is Notre Dame football. Marv Spence with the recovery. Jeff, that's a big play, because I was just about to say to you, USC really seems to have their offense untracked here in the second half.
It's a point you made earlier in the game, Jack. They've turned the ball over this year, and that's what's hurt them. And you see Crutcher, he's got the ball right there. Let's see. I think Lawrence came in and knocked the ball loose. I think it was Steve Lawrence.
But whoever it was, he put his helmet right on the football. Good hit. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame. The ball is on the USC 37. Alan Pinkett with the football runs into a wall. Gained a couple. Marcus Cotton was part of that wall for USC.
You get the feeling, though, Jack, that Alan Pinkett is going to break one here. He did the last series, and he was a step away from taking it for, I'd say, about a 40-yard gain. He's going to bust one because he is still strong. He gets stronger as the game goes on. Many times, if you look at Pinkett's career, he won't have the yardage in the first half. It's the 3rd and 4th quarter where he piles it up.
2nd and 9. Pinkett just about broke that one, Jeff. Jerome Tyler on the stop for the Trojans.
Watch Allen here. He will get to the line of scrimmage, feel the pressure, and then explode right through that quick little hole. He's nearing the 100-yard mark. Unofficially, 21 carries, 93 yards. And Notre Dame is right now taking advantage of that turnover.
Pinkett again. Allen showed you just how strong he is on that play. Matt Johnson stuck him. Pinkett stopped for a second and then kept going.
And he almost kept it going right into the end zone, but Matt Johnson held on. It was a ground-level shot from the south end zone. There you see Allen. Tim Brown tried to get him. That's pretty good leg strength and upper body strength because Johnson hit him flush.
Also hit him on the football, and Allen didn't even come close to dropping it. 2nd and 2 for the Irish. Francisco appears to have the 1st down. Alan Pinkett, 22 rushes, 122 yards, his 21st career. 100-yard game.
Allen holds the Notre Dame record for most games over 100 yards rushing.
First down, Notre Dame.
So the Irish 1st and 10 from the USC 15. Pinkett back to the line of scrimmage. Matt Johnson led the charge of the USC defenders.
Keep waiting for Beuerlein to throw here. And I know Notre Dame's moving the ball well on the ground, but could really put USC up against it if they're not already, you know, with a 24-point lead by letting it out here.
Alan Pinkett slides down to the 7-yard line.
We got a flag, Jack. Here's Allen. Watch how he'll just almost get it in the end. Oh, that's just an arm tackle. Breland just hung on. You know, it's going to be against Notre Dame. Talk about throwing the ball in this situation. You say, you know, why aren't they? Well, you've moved the ball well on the ground. That's one argument. On the other hand, if you throw into the end zone, not from this point on the field, but then again, why not? As you take a look at the holding call against Notre Dame, you've eaten up so much time off the clock. You can afford to take the chance, I would think. And then Notre Dame has mixed its plays well. 3 penalties for 40 yards against the Irish. Once again, the mistakes and the penalties down, and Notre Dame usually succeeds when they keep the penalties down.
2nd and 20 for Notre Dame. Draw to Pinkett. He's knocked down for a loss of a yard. Matt Court, 6'6", 255-pound senior defensive tackle, got through there and knocked Allen down.
Sprint draw, and there's Court. Mike Perino is a bit shaky, and he will come off the field.
2 minutes, 55 seconds remaining, third quarter of play. The Irish up 27-3, a quarter that has moved very quickly, Jeff. You see Mr. Perino walking off the field.
John Whitmer, the head trainer for Notre Dame, escorting him over to the bench.
3rd and 21 for Notre Dame. They're at the USC 26-yard line. Reggie Ward wide to the right. Timmy Brown wide to the left.
Blitz.
Steve got it off. He was hit as he threw, and the pass was short of Tom Rader. Matt Court is the man that hit Steve as he was getting that football away. And the field goal unit takes the field.
Everybody comes from the inside for USC. Notre Dame picks it up fairly well, but it's just numbers overmatching smaller numbers there in terms of rushers and pass blockers, and Beuerlein was lucky to get the ball away. Now Mr. Carney is on.
43-yard attempt. Kick is up, and it is good. There's a timeout on the field with the score. Notre Dame 30, USC 3. Let's pause for this. Carney ready to kick it off again. Gets this one up in the air, and this one will be returned, but not very far. Albert Watts brought it back.
Corny Southall, the freshman running back, made the tackle, number 31.
USC will begin this possession from its own 18-yard line. Play action. He tried to dump it out to Eric McKee, but overthrew him just a bit.
Good pressure by Matt Dingens. Talking to Rick Lance, the defensive line coach, who's really done a good job this year, you know, shuffling personnel in and out, and when the injuries and stuff, he said Matt Dingens is going to be right up there with the Notre Dame great defensive lineman because he is quick and strong.
Notre Dame, a little bit of confusion on a substitution at the last minute, and they're forced to call timeout, and the fans are not happy about that.
Grammy Award winner ND Frank will appear in concert this Thursday, October 31st at the ACC. Tickets are available for
It's disorganization, but with a 30-3 lead.
From their own 18. Crutcher hops over the 20 out to the 21-yard line. Steve Lawrence and Tony Frajanik on the stop.
pick up a 4 yards.
2 minutes remaining in period number 3. Notre Dame 30, USC 3.
If you're just getting in from an evening of carousing and have turned on the TV set, you already knew the score, but you've missed most of the scoring. Irish with 27 first half points. Arrington catches the pass over the middle, but he is short of the first down. Marv Spence on the coverage.
Spence on the tackle.
There's an interesting situation, Jack. As soon as that ball was caught, the head linesman signaled timeout. Now, it appears from our vantage point, I think they're going to measure here. Okay, that's why but he called it immediately. Pretty good officiating. Know that he was watching the play right in front of him, so the sticks were behind him. It is short, so guess he knew what he was doing. But immediately after that ball was caught, he signaled timeout. Knew that the play was close to being a first down. Fourth and about half a yard, I'd say.
I know if anybody happens to be wondering, they're awfully deep in their own territory. Yeah, but they're down 27 points. You just can't give the ball back to Notre Dame. You've got to go for it. Crutcher. He got it, but just barely. Frajanik on the tackle, and the USC drive remains alive.
Fred Crutcher, there you look at him, number 49, student body right. The pitch sweep, both guards pull, fullback lead. Nice, Frajanik's playing well. He's fired up for this game. He's playing better than he has all year long. It's his kind of game, straight up football.
Play action again. Salisbury will air it out, and it is overthrown, intended for Hank Norman.
You know, we talked about Matt Dingens before, younger brother of Greg Dingens. He was on a pass rush that time, knocked over two guys, didn't get to the passer, but made the blockers pay for it. And he got the first guy on the first step.
Second and 10. Under a minute remaining third quarter. Screen to Kennedy Pola. Play had already been whistled dead. Tony Frajanik brought Pola down. They will spot the football at the 34-yard line. bring up a 3rd and 6 situation for USC. This will also be the last play of the 3rd quarter. 18 seconds remaining in the quarter. Barring an incomplete pass. Crutcher on the handoff, gains maybe a yard.
Rick DiBernardo on the tackle.
And that is the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. Notre Dame 30, the Trojans of USC 3. We have 1 quarter of football remaining, so don't go away. Exactly what you predicted, Jeff, but certainly we weren't going to predict them by 27.
No, you really couldn't, nor could you envision the first play of the game ending up a fumble by USC and Notre Dame getting the ball on the 2.
Troy Richardson in to punt the football away for USC. Spiraling kick gets caught up in the wind and takes a Notre Dame bounce. USC finally downs the football at the Notre Dame 38-yard line, so the Irish with very good field position for this next possession. Not too many people leaving this stadium. They're enjoying what they're seeing here at Notre Dame Stadium today. The Irish about to beat USC for the 3rd straight time, for the first time since 1959. Play action. And Steve slides to a stop at the 36.
Somebody blew an assignment there, I do believe. Either that or it was a great play fake by Beuerlein, but when he saw pressure on the outside from USC, he just took it to the ground. Steve's already had one pretty hard hit on him on that touchdown. No use risking the injury.
Loss of 4 on the play, 2nd and 14. Alan Pinkett. Out to the 38. Some unofficial 3rd quarter statistics for you. After 3 quarters, Notre Dame has 14 first downs, 165 rushing yards, and the Irish have passed for 111 yards. Sprint out, overthrows Timmy Brown.
After a very good first half, Steve Beuerlein just come up dry here in the second. His timing is off. Brown was wide open there, and Steve just threw the ball too hard. It just, again, it sailed on him. He had a lot more time than he thought. It is a timing pattern.
That's Al Washington. He's back deep to receive this punt from Dan Sorensen of Notre Dame. There's Dan. A pleasant surprise for the Irish this year. Snap a little high. Dan takes it down, gets off a pretty good kick. Washington calls for the fair catch and takes it at the 20. There's a timeout on the field with the score. Notre Dame 30, USC 3. Let's pause for this. .22 remaining, 4th quarter of play. USC trying to get themselves back in the ball game. The pass is incomplete, intended for Hank Norman. And a little greeting card left by Marv Spence.
Hit of the game. Spence got him right in the helmet, I do believe. He started low and worked his way up to hit him right in the face mask. Let's watch this again now. Spence is going to break on the ball. That means as soon as the ball is thrown, he goes to it right there.
May I have your attention, please?
That will short circuit just about everything.
Fans, getting home safe after the game may depend on how fast you are driving. On the way home, please
I think he's okay. He's just dazed.
go. The more deadly.
Probably a bit confused, too.
Remember, if you drive to beat the band, you may end up playing a heart.
Officer Tim McCarthy, as usual, giving us a few words of wisdom here in the fourth quarter.
Second and 10 for USC. His pass is complete. That's Cormier, and he jumps close to a first down. He got it. Salisbury wants to throw again. Pass over the middle, and it is complete again. This time to Emmanuel. Tony Frajanic brought him down.
The cheering you were hearing in the background is the fans have started the wave.
One of your favorites. Emmanuel goes back to the sidelines. Second and 6 for USC. Pass is complete to Cormier again over the middle, and he gets out close to midfield. Brought down at the 47 by John McCabe.
Salisbury, these are just short passes that Notre Dame's defense is giving USC because of the lead and the position on the field. Cormier makes the grab. It's worth some yardage, but with 12 minutes left and your team's down by 27, you're going to start striking long sooner or later.
Salisbury's got time. Now he's getting in some trouble. Can't find anybody open. Throws it up for grabs and knocked down very nicely. And Jeff, that man, Marv Spence, is playing a whale of a football game.
You know, he had trouble early in the game on the crossing pattern that USC runs, but that's no big deal because that's USC's bread and butter play. And now Spence knows what is coming. He's right on the tail of the receiver, and as soon as he sees that ball in the air, he's going to break to it. There is Spence, number 25, just bats it down. Don't have to be fancy. Go for the interception at that point. Just the nice knockdown.
Second and 10 for USC. Pass over the middle. This time it is complete. That's Al Washington, number 87. Ball is across midfield. Officials mark it at the Irish 46.
Once again, USC goes short, picks up a bit of yardage. But again, it is what the Notre Dame defensive unit is giving USC. There you see, there's 3 green jerseys right around there, so he's not going to go anywhere.
Jeff, 11:15 remaining in the ball game. They'll give USC this all the way down the field because it's eating up the clock. Salisbury deep drop. Passes over the middle. It is incomplete. Intended for Hank Norman. Just out of his reach. I think Norman's still feeling that last hit.
He is. There's no question because first half he would have run that pattern a lot more sharply. We'll watch it again. There you see Salisbury. Now he gets excellent protection here. Notre Dame is starting to put a little pressure on him before this play, but not here. And he leads him just a little too long.
Salisbury 18 of 30 so far in the game for 175 yards.
There you see what it looks like on a secondary point of view.
Salisbury again. His pass is complete. Cormier held onto the football. Steve Lawrence on the tackle, but that's a big play.
Yeah, Cedric Figueroa had the great hit.
So USC retains possession of the football.
Here you take a look at the way the secondary drops. Now watch 48 right there. That pop. One man low, one man high. Hold him up. I don't think those people are from around here.
1st and 10 for USC. The ball is on the Irish 39-yard line. Pass is complete. That's Todd Steele.
You know, in effect, Jack, what USC is doing is running. They're running the ball, but they're passing it. And that may sound contradictory, but they're gaining yardage they would gain probably from their tailback, and the clock continues to move. So as Salisbury fills the air of football, the yardage gain and the situation with the clock is the same as if USC was running the football.
Salisbury now 20 of 30. Here comes number 31. He gets it away, and he just throws it away. Pressure, he's forced out of the pocket. So to avoid an even bigger loss, he threw the football away. You almost get a sense here that, and I'm not saying that USC has given up, but they are working on things they're going to need for the remainder of the season. If they can get back into the ball game somehow doing this, that's fine. But, you know, let's keep working on a ball control offense that we may be able to use again later on. Al Washington and Hank Norman split wide to the right. Cormier with a reception at the 30. A flag on the play. Weisenhofer and Larkin on that tackle.
They may get Rick DiBernardo for coming in late on that play. Just what you don't want here, and it was a pretty close call. Maybe we'll get another look at it. Here's Salisbury. Now he'll throw after stepping up. Now there is the stop. Weisenhofer. Right about, yeah, they've already marked it. Rick didn't hit anybody. If he did, he barely scraped him. Maybe it was intent.
Maybe it's not Rick. Maybe they're saying that that Larkin and Weisenhofer didn't give up in time, but his knee isn't down yet. As you said, close call. But it stands.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for USC from the Irish 15. Emmanuel has a hole up the middle. Fumble football, but USC appears to have gotten it back.
One official signals Notre Dame ball, the other signals a down. So we'll wait and see.
It appeared to me that Eric McKee fell on the loose
he
ball.
did. You're right. One official, I think, was a bit tardy on seeing what the other official had called. Watch Aaron Emmanuel take it right up the middle. Now, he's looking to score here, but there is the hit by Lawrence and the additional hit by Larkin. The ball pops free. It comes back. McKee falls on it. It's definitely USC ball.
2nd and 2. Emmanuel slashes his way. Fumble football again, and this time the Irish have it.
Steve Lawrence makes the play. This typifies USC's day. Pretty good move, but he just drops the football.
Jeff, he was losing the football before even the contact was made. It appeared he tried to shift the ball from one hand to the other and just lost the handle. So there is a timeout on the field with the score. Notre Dame 30, USC 3. We still have 9 minutes and 8 seconds of football remaining, so stay with us. The Irish starting from their 4. Pinkett. Out to the 6. Jeff, what Notre Dame wants to do now is just keep the football for as much of this quarter as they can. 6-7 minute drive here would be just what the doctor ordered. Easily the finest Notre Dame performance of the year. Second and 8 for the Irish. Pinkett again, trying to get outside, gets across the 10 to the 11-yard line.
one gets the impression after watching Alan Pinkett play football for 4 years that he enjoys contact. A lot of running backs do not. They love rolling up the yards. Unofficially now, Allen, 27 carries, 112 yards. Pinkett likes to hit and be hit.
But he likes to hit when he dishes it out. He also has an uncanny knack of angling his body so that other players, namely the defensive players, don't get a good shot at him.
He's really only been hit hard once in his career, and that was against SMU in the Aloha Bowl when he separated his shoulder. That's the only real vicious stick.
3rd and 3, Pinkett. Now we have a flag. Tim McDonald on the stop, and as far as just the play is concerned, Allen lost yardage on that play.
Probably going to be a hold.
You are correct. So USC declines the penalty so that they can get the football back. Sorensen will kick it away from his own end zone. Al Washington is standing at his own 48-yard line to take this kick. USC, of course, will try to block it. Sorensen's kick. Washington takes it at his 45. He had no blocking, so I understand the call for the fair catch. Some of the fans are booing, but there were 3 Irish players bearing right down on him.
That's right. They went for the block, and with that, you do not get any sort of return blocking. And Mr. Washington made the right play. Have your popcorn ready as Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert review today's top flicks on At the Movies at 11:30 Sunday night. Siskel and Ebert will take a look at Gene Hackman's new movie, Twice in a Lifetime, 11:30 Sunday nights.
Salisbury, play action. The pass is incomplete. Washington caught it, but he was out of bounds.
Notre Dame did a good job that time of making sure Salisbury stayed within the containment. Figaro fought his blocker to the outside and then didn't really get in on Sean, but made sure that Salisbury did not get to the outside where he could have run.
Second and 10. Manuel just slipped again. He's been having trouble with his footing all afternoon, and he slipped across the 45 to the 46.
Salisbury, I think, checked off on that play, and Mike Larkin picked it up. Larkin stole the audible that time and knew it was going to be the tailback, so he switched his coverage and just freelance, and it worked. Once you're out on the field all day long and you hear the signals the opposing team calls, you become used to them and you know what's going to go.
3rd and 9. Salisbury goes down. Eric Dorsey with the sack.
That's the first sack of the day by the Irish, and Eric Dorsey picks the most proper time to do it. Salisbury fades, got plenty of time. That's good secondary coverage. You can tell Dingens is pushed down, but not Dorsey. Trips him up.
Troy Richardson on to kick the football away as we take a look at the secondary coverage that time. The ball will roll out of bounds at the 37. So that's where the Irish will take it over. A 30-yard punt by Richardson. 6 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. And I don't think you'd be too premature to say that this football game is just about over in terms of the final score. Irish have their second offensive squad in there now.
Or at least in terms of the decision. The second unit may
Well,
get some
the
more
outcome.
points. Yeah.
Good point, because I think USC could still put some points on the boards, too.
But it's almost near the lock stage.
Hiawatha Francisco changes direction and goes the other way. And he's going to pick up some pretty good yardage. That is what endeared him to Notre Dame fans as a freshman. He is a very exciting runner and is probably at his best in ad-lib situations.
That's a good point. He's not the best at a structured play. This is what he is good at. Oh, I better just head the other way. As they say in football terminology, a riverside. Flip it back and go the other way. It's called running for your life.
He picked up 8 that time. 2nd and 2. From the Irish 44. Tony Eason wide to the left. Mark Green also wide to the left in the slot. This is Hiawatha Francisco, and he high steps his way across midfield. Out to the 45-yard line.
Fresh unit, tired unit, very evident right here. The H-man, Hiawatha Francisco, right up the gut.
You've got to give Hiawatha some credit. He's played defense the last 2 years before being switched earlier this season when Alonzo Jefferson went down, and he has re-picked up the offensive play calling, the schemes, the cutting schemes, blocking schemes very, very quickly. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame from the USC 45. Time it's Monahan. And I think you just made a good point, Jeff, as Jerome Tyler on that last tackle. USC is tired. You've got a fresh unit out there, and they're just knocking USC off the football. Monahan with a 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3 now. Ball is to the USC 38-yard line, and probably most importantly for both teams, the clock continues to roll. 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. There's a look at the scoreboard. Hiawatha Francisco got stacked up, but still powered his way forward. And a flag on the play. Ron Brown on the stop. Hiawatha got less than a yard on the play. You saw it, face mask against USC. And it is a big one. The ruling, it is an intentional face mask call, so 15 yards, and the Irish are down to the 20.
I think they got Junior Thurman for roughing up Tony Eason in the defensive backfield.
That man has to feel a little better right now. It's been a tough season for him. A lot of pressure, a lot of heat, a lot of criticism. I've seen his ball club put back-to-back solid performances together. Hiawatha Francisco, right up the middle of the field, picks up 3. Matt Cord on the stop. Francisco unofficially 7 rushes, 44 yards. You know he's enjoying it. 2nd and 8 for Notre Dame. Hiawatha Francisco again has some running room, dives across the 10 down to the 9, and even though he was down, he wants that yardage. He was crawling along the ground. Jerome Tyler tripped him up, but a big gain for Hiawatha Francisco.
Pitch sweep. Pernell Taylor is the lead man on the block. Let's see what he does. That's a nice block by Pernell Taylor. Native of California, Springs, Hiawatha. 1st and goal.
Ball is at the 9. Hiawatha again. He's going to try to race his way around the corner. Then he waited for a hole to open. None did. He gained a yard. Marcus Cotton brought him down. mark it back at the 9, so no gain on the play. 2nd and goal from the 9 now. .250 remaining, 4th quarter. Movement. That should back the Irish up just a bit.
Yeah, a couple of guys in that offensive line were coming out of the rocket chair.
Illegal procedure called against Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, though, has had a fairly good game in the penalty category. That's only the 5th penalty against the Irish for a total of 60 yards.
That's about 1 a quarter almost. Figure 1 every 12 minutes.
You know, in the 4 to 8 range, generally you're not in too much trouble.
You're okay, yeah. In a hard-hitting game, you could almost go up to 10, but no more.
Hiawatha Francisco gets the yard as they lost on the penalty back. He gets down to the 8 this time. Garrett Breland and Sam Ano on the tackle for USC. Two minutes exactly remaining in the ball game. 3rd and goal from the 8 for Notre Dame. Play action. Andrysiak passes it into the end zone. Touchdown to Joel Williams.
I think Andrysiak saw what happened to Beuerlein, his touchdown. He said, well, I'll just throw this one. You can run it in, Steve. I'll just throw this one. Play fake. Andrysiak waits and waits, then sees the tight end. Nice dart throw to Joel Williams, who's wide open.
Carney on to attempt the extra point. It is good. And the Irish now lead 37-3. 3 in a row for Notre Dame over USC. And a very impressive performance for Notre Dame, and the kind of performance, Jeff, that I think we all expected Notre Dame to be giving all season long this year.
Not going to get a real good look at the pattern here, but you do see Joel make the catch right there.
A minute 49 remaining.
Jack, this is the widest margin of a Notre Dame victory since the 1966 51-0 game. This 34-point spread eclipses the 49-19 30-point count of 1977, the original premiere of the green jerseys.
Irish scoring drive covered 64 yards in 9 plays.
9 plays. To get to return one. He's been anxious the entire game. And the wind blows the football off the tee. Another thing that I have to be impressed with, Jeff, USC is a quicker team than Notre Dame, and yet Notre Dame's granted lack of speed did not show today.
No, because USC ran right at them. They didn't run really away from them. USC doesn't run away from anyone. They go toe-to-toe with, and Notre Dame just stood right up and battled them.
Notre Dame also played as quick as they could play today.
Oh, yeah. Adrenaline makes you quicker.
The kick bounces in the end zone, touchback. USC will start from the 20, and the Trojans will try to battle for what little respectability you can get in a minute and 49 seconds, trailing by 34 points. Rodney Peete, 6'2", 290-pound freshman backup quarterback, is in the lineup now for USC. His pass is overthrown. It was intended for Gene Arrington.
Pete was highly recruited, one of the top quarterback recruits, his real strength is running the football. He's almost a Vince Evans type, former USC quarterback. He doesn't throw really that well. He will by the time he's a junior or senior, but right now he's more of a slippery runner.
Bring up a 2nd and 10 situation. There is a chance that Notre Dame will get some more national television exposure next week. ABC had indicated that it would be interested in televising the Notre Dame-Navy game if Notre Dame won today, and they certainly have done that. Pete's pass is complete over the middle to Martin Chesley. Mike Kovalevsky on the coverage for the Irish, along with Wes Pritchett.
I think you can really tell what Mike Kovalevsky means to the defense. He's back this week. Watch him. You can see number 49 lying in wait and zap.
A minute and 15 seconds remaining and counting in this ball game. A big victory for the Fighting Irish. Pete's pass is complete. It's Cormier. And Dave Butler rides him out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Line. Wes Pritchett led the charge.
I tell you, Jack, the real difference you could tell last week and definitely this week, Notre Dame has out-hit their opponent. Football's still a game of contact. And if you out-hit your opponent, if you make them a little shyer than you, as you see Jerry Faust congratulating members of his coaching staff, you're going to win most of your games. The team that hits best is the team that usually wins.
25 seconds remaining in the ball game. Pete. It's going to get flushed. Throws it up for grabs and just throws it away. Another thing that was evident here today for Notre Dame, Jeff, the Irish were confident all through the game. They were confident all against Army. It's easy to maintain your confidence when you start the way the Irish did today, but that is something that hurt them early. And when they got in trouble early, they were back on their heels.
Yeah, even with the emotional high that they were on, they played within themselves. They played under control. No more emotional play than you can ever have is to have the other team fumble the kickoff inside its 5, and Notre Dame didn't waste any time. They went in and they kept after USC all day.
3rd and 7 with 15 seconds left for USC. Pete over the middle. It is complete. That is Al Washington, and he gets the football down to the 28-yard line. George Streeter on the coverage for Notre Dame. 6 seconds remaining. And USC takes a timeout. You know, there's two schools of thought on that, but I can understand the timeout.
Well, you've got a young quarterback in there. He's going to be in this position many times in his career. From now on, you might as well take it. It's not going to change the outcome of the game. And so what if USC scores? Notre Dame still got the victory. So, no, there's nothing wrong with calling a timeout here.
And let's be honest, as far as personal self-respect, 37-10 is a lot better than 37-3. It's still a loss.
I think this is more for Rodney Pete's benefit than anything else.
Pete's pass over the middle, in and out of the hands of Al Washington, and that is the football game.